Anyone else that you would like to see potentially join?
I'm not 100% on this individual, but just thinking about maybe killing two birds with one stone here potentially. I can't lie, put Ricochet in there.
We have another AEW faction that have now kind of made their debut over the past few weeks. I am talking about the Hurt Syndicate, formerly known as the Hurt Business. For me, it's been brilliant to get these guys back on TV all together, looking the part, looking even sharper than they probably did in WWE, to be completely honest. And I just love, like, I think MVP is doing some great work. Again, better work than he did with these guys in WWE, in my opinion. It is still early days. I think Shelton Benjamin has looked like an absolute boss.
Bro, Shelton Benjamin in the space of 3 weeks has looked incredible.
Bro,
the match with Leo Rush, phenomenal. Bro, Shelton Benjamin, yeah, this man is 53 and he is wrestling like, bro, I've just been doing this for a few years and I got a few cuts and scrapes, but I'm good. Bro, Shelton Benjamin, honestly, yeah, like, this is what I mean. Shelton Benjamin looks fantastic, bro. Looks absolutely fantastic right now, man. Honestly, love it. Love it.
I was even saying last week or so, I feel indifferent. Let me not say I'm disappointed. I feel indifferent that Bobby Lashley has come in now, because I enjoyed Shelton being like the front man for a couple of
years, yeah,
and just being that kind of unknown, dangerous entity. Like, I really enjoyed that. I guess now he'll take a bit of a backseat to Bobby Lashley as the front man. But yeah, I really just like, I think so far they've nailed the packaging of them. I think, not to discredit AEW, but it's obviously easier because we've seen this iteration of this before. The men involved would have known, right, WWE maybe didn't let us do XYZ. Can we come here now and do said XYZ sort of thing? And so they can improve upon what they had immediately. And like I learned when I went to Philadelphia this year at Wale Mania, this is actually the first time the Hurt Syndicate are in front of a live audience. They were never in front of a live audience in the WWE.
Mad
pandemic. So, you know, at Wale Mania, Cedric was there as well, and they all stood on stage, and that's when I think it was either MVP or Shelton said it. In fact, maybe Cedric said it. He said, "This is the first time we've stood as a 4 in front of a live audience." And my mind was blown. So to now see the reactions that they're getting and how the crowd are loving them in front of a live audience, this act for the first time, it's amazing. It's so good. What's your initial thoughts, and how have you felt about how they've come in and been packaged together?
Honestly, man, I think for the 4 weeks, maybe it's been since we've gotten like the first presentation of the Hurt Syndicate, but it's been really good, man. I like how everyone kind of still has their individual kind of thing that they're doing. So like, you've got Bobby Lashley who's come in. The theme song was cold. I can't lie, like the boom, 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 boom. I rated it like it was cold, innit? And he's kind of come in as this like, because I think he's still yet to kind of get, like, he's not had a match yet, obviously. I think he's kind of gotten into a fight with Swerve or whatever the case may be. But again, like, saving his first match for pay-per-view makes Bobby Lashley look like a big deal. I remember this man in the 2020s was a WWE champion, carried the company through the pandemic. Like, Bobby Lashley deserves this kind of presentation that he's got right now. For Shelton Benjamin, again, we've got someone who he's just been able to just come in and just do his thing. Like, and I feel like that's probably what Shelton wanted. He probably just wanted to be like, yo, I just want to get in the ring with the guys that you lot got, and let me just make some magic. Because again, Shelton's kind of made it abundantly clear that, like, you know, for him, while he's kind of at this age of his career, whatever, like, he wants to just get in the ring with the best, and he just wants to showcase what he's made of. And I'm so glad that, like, Tony Khan has kind of given him the chance to do that. And then what I like with MVP is, again, there's this like mob boss kind of look to him, where like the whole thing with the card is amazing. Like, if you get one of these cards, basically you got to make a choice. You either with us or you're against us. So it kind of makes this whole thing of like, if you got an MVP card, you must be someone worth keeping an eye on. And in a sense, I think it makes the whole idea of like who's going to potentially join a lot more interesting, rather than just like, you know, eyeing someone up in a backstage segment or like whatever the case may be. Giving someone a card, it kind of like puts this dilemma in front of them, like we're seeing with Max Caster and stuff like that, like where he's got the card but he's still not 100% on whether he wants to or not. And then again, there is this whole thing of like, cool, well, if you don't take the card, then basically you're gonna get your ass whooped, as a way to basically say you should have listened. So I like the presentation of the Hurt Syndicate. They come across like very much like a mob. Like, yo, we got the guy who does the thing. We got the guy who's basically like our last resort. And if Big Boss talks to you, bro, pay attention. So I've loved it, man. I've loved it so far, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's been great. With Bobby Lashley, like you said, it kind of feels like a big deal if his first match is going to be Swerve Strickland at Full Gear. He doesn't do anything in the 2 Dynamites before Full Gear now. Yeah, that'll be really, really good. And for just the sake of the group and everything like that, I hope he beats Swerve. Like,
yeah, of course he needs to beat Swerve. 100%.
Yeah, for me, he needs to beat Swerve. So, yeah, that would be really good. Yeah, like I just feel like they're nailing it so far, and obviously the talk is, you know, are they finished in terms of recruitment? Is there anybody else that they want to recruit? Kervin says here in the chat, for me, the Hurt Syndicate need a female. It makes sense for Athena to join. Now, I see where he's going on the thought path of Athena, how she behaves and stuff like that. And she's been formidable. For Athena has been like, I don't want to say disrespected, but it's almost like she's just forgotten about to a degree on that Ring of Honor show, where she should be doing this particular act on Dynamite, and she might quite easily be the best thing on the show if she was doing this on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But there was a picture, I believe there was some type of convention over this past weekend in the States, wrestling comic convention or something like that. There's a picture that Queen Aminata took with the Hurt Syndicate.
Okay.
And then MVP must have, I think he posted a comment under the picture saying, do you own a suit? I think Queen Aminata is a nice touch because she is someone that I think AEW do have their eye on. They are invested in her.
Yeah.
And she kind of fits aesthetically as like an athlete looking person with I think she'll look great in a suit. And I don't mean this disrespectfully. I think she'll look better in a suit than Athena. Let me put it that way.
I hear what you're saying. I think it's just, again, I think it's the presentation, the kind of the look and feel. I get what you mean.
It's the way she carries herself as well. There's something kind of regal and well calculated, well measured about the way Queen Aminata carries herself. I think she would be a very interesting addition if she was to join. Of course, people have talked about guys joining. Leo Rush looks like he's throwing his hat in the ring, if you like. This Wednesday he's facing Swerve to kind of prove to the Hurt Syndicate that he should join. Obviously he's got history with Lashley. The likes of Max Caster that you mentioned before have got a business card and he's thinking about some things, I guess. Anyone else that you would like to see potentially join?
I'm not 100% on this individual, but just thinking about maybe killing 2 birds with 1 stone here potentially. I can't lie, put Ricochet in there.
Yeah, I think we said that on social media to each other, innit? Like 100%.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we literally went. I think we said this to each other, but you know what? I thought about Ricochet being in the Hurt Business when they were in WWE. Obviously, yes. I know there was that thing where it was like, I think Cedric turned on him to join the Hurt Business, right? But the thing is like we said again, Ricochet's always been a face, I think, for since he went to WWE and even now in AEW. I think he's always been a face. I don't think he's ever been a heel. But I'm quite curious to see what Ricochet would be like as a heel, because I was watching his interview with Chris Van Vliet. I don't know how you say his last name, but like when he was kind of saying there about like how all these haters are here and you lot basically can like shut the F up and enjoy what you're watching. To me, I'm like, talk that talk, brother. Talk that talk, but like do it on TV as well. Do it on TV as well. Because for me, I feel like if he had the Hurt Business around him, it would actually potentially give him a chance to kind of like tap into a side of his character that we're not going to see yet. So then we've got like a guy who can do all the flips and do all that stuff as well, but also like completely disrespectful to anyone and everyone that he fights. I don't know. I personally think like Ricochet in the Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, sorry, would be a shout. Leo Rush is not a bad shout. I'm not fussed on Max Caster, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah,
I'll be real. I feel like he's got the capability to just turn heel on Anthony Bowens by himself. I don't think he needs the Hurt Syndicate thing to kind of do that. So for me, I feel like if I was most likely selling anyone, it would be Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet.
Yeah,
That's my one.
I think Ricochet is a good shout. I think I think he's the best shout out of AEW options. I would love it for Will Hobbs. However, I just feel like Will Hobbs would be a bit too similar to Lashley.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, yeah, and I know Lashley's obviously
if there was no Lashley, if Lashley didn't sign with AEW, generally, if you'd given me Shelton Benjamin, Ricochet, and Will Hobbs and MVP as Hurt Syndicate, bruv, would have been sold.
Yeah, I would have been easy. Yeah. So yeah, those two, Ricochet, my first choice, like you say. I will mention this because I mentioned this on a podcast last week on here. Montez Ford, his contract runs out later this year. And I would say this, for those that don't like bad language, I'm sorry, but it has to be said like this. If he has the bollocks, the cojones, then that's where he should find himself. However, I know he is tied at the hip to his wife, loves his wife very much. I can't see him leaving and kind of creating that separation between him and his missus to have a different schedule than to go over there. And it looks like maybe imminently something may happen for him on WWE program.
Yeah. So I was going to say this.
That I feel like out of nowhere, he just goes silent and he just turns up in AEW with the glasses, the suit, and everything. And he is basically, obviously, Bobby Lashley may still be the front man, but he is like the next up. This is the guy that we're going to curate to become world champion, basically.
You know what, man? Like, when it comes to Montez Ford, I think obviously, like, there was the whole thing a little while back where, like, I think a lot of people were kind of like saying he was kind of the breakout star of the Street Profits, all this kind of stuff and everything like that. But you know what? If he went to AEW, like, I wouldn't be mad at it. And obviously, like you said, stuff to do with obviously, you know, his family life and everything like that would be a thing. But you know what? Like, we've seen examples that people can be in two different companies, and you know, at least from what, let's say, we haven't seen, it seems like their relationships and their marriages and everything like that is fine, innit? But for me, it's like Montez Ford, that promo he cut on SmackDown. Like, you see when he was like, yo, if we don't win next week, like, it's done. To me, I was like, was that like a subtle hint of like, yo, if we don't win next week, like, then I guess we're done. As like whatever.
So I don't think they're splitting. I think it's more like we're about to raise hell. We're about to cause havoc if we don't get this done next week. I didn't necessarily see it as a split. But even so, if that leads to a heel turn, I'm here for it. That's what we need. Like,
it was very ambiguous. It's very, very ambiguous. But see, so this is why I feel like it's such a shame that the stars didn't align in WWE. Because for me, when Bobby Lashley was with the Street Profits, if they then had MVP, that would have been the elite quartet for me. That would have been like the Hurt Business reimagined. You don't even have to call it the Hurt Business, whatever it could be. But I think obviously, like, a lot of people have said that like the problem sometimes with Montez Ford is like the goofiness, the comedic kind of like things that he tends to do sometimes. It kind of throws you off the image of him. But that promo he cut on SmackDown, I was like, brother, I believe in everything you're saying. And I think even Montez Ford believes in everything he was saying there as well, which is good. So for me, you bring that energy to AEW, bro, you will stand out. You would stand out above the rest. I feel like for me, the energy Montez Ford has is the energy I thought Ricochet would have.
Yeah.
That's what I
think we're getting there though with Ricochet. I do think we're getting there.
Yeah. I think we are getting there a little bit. For me, I feel like Montez Ford, if he left and went and came to AEW, and this man went to join the Hurt Syndicate, bruv, strap the TNT title on this man within the next 6 months of him joining that company, bro. And this is the thing as well. This will be the very telling thing: is how long will it take for the Hurt Syndicate to start getting championships in their group? That will be a big thing to see. How does Tony Khan view this group? And I think someone said this in the chat. They said, Tony Khan, do not mess this up, or something along the lines of that. He said, Tony Khan, don't drop the ball on this. For me, the Hurt Syndicate need to have belts within 6 months to a year. Not saying it has to be the AEW World Championship, but there needs to be some form of championships within that team in a while. But yeah, man, Montez Ford, can't lie, I'd be there for it. I'll 100% be there for it.
Mate, we got you know, you've moved us on nicely. We got to tune in on Friday to see what he meant by all of that. And because they're not going to win, they're not going to beat Motor City Machine Gun. So whatever he's threatening is going to happen. So it's now a case of tuning in on Friday night on SmackDown on the Blue brand, and exactly that, seeing what it is that happens.